Embrace change. It is not necessary to change. Survival is not mandatory. W. Edwards Deming. Change will happen whether you like it or not. In fact, given technology's evolution and globalization, there's little doubt that the rate of change is accelerating. This can be disconcerting. We tend to hate change. We prefer to know what will happen. However, if you fight change, you'll usually lose, and you'll get worn down fighting it. I recall meeting with some folks in the newspaper and yellow pages industries in the mid-90s. I told them the internet would reshape their world, but they were making good money on their print business and had been doing that for many years. In fact, most of them had monopolies where they could pretty much charge whatever they wanted. So overall, they basically ignored the internet. They did little things here and there, but nothing fundamental. It didn't impact their near-term earnings. 5 years later, nothing had happened to those businesses. After 10 years, the internet started encroaching on their profits, and then, very quickly, the internet tidal wave decimated them. To be clear, a small number of those companies may still adapt and survive, but had they viewed what was happening in the world with open eyes and started making meaningful changes to their businesses in the mid-90s, I'd bet a lot of money some of them would be in a dramatically different place today. This pattern of ignoring change is not new. Alexander Graham Bell said, "When one door closes, another door opens." But we so often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the ones which open for us. The same is true in personal relationships. If you fight change, it simply won't work. People fall out of love, they age, their needs and desires change. If you embrace inevitable change, you'll be ahead of the pack. If a relationship isn't working, don't just give up. But if you have tried hard to fix it over time and can't do anything about it, then it's important to recognize you may need to make a change in your life. The lesson I've learned is this: since change is inevitable, the key is learning how to manage it. If you deal with issues immediately and don't let them fester, they won't become bigger and ultimately unmanageable. Problems are much easier to deal with when they are still small than if you've let them grow over time. At some points in your life, you may try to drive change. In those instances, I've found patience is a huge virtue. Change comes slowly. It's a hard thing to accept, and people may resist it actively or passively. In fact, in some fields, such as internet adoption, change often doesn't come until people leave their jobs and are replaced by a new generation. This principle holds true well beyond the technology sector.